Hello everyone, we are Group 6. Our group number are 李静宁、乌可、刘新月、马家威、马家慧, and Wang Jingyuan. Today, we will talk about metaphysics. Let me start with a simple question. What is really real? Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that studies reality, existence, and being. It asks questions like what really exists and what is beyond the physical world. Unlike science, metaphysics is not only about experiment. Instead, it helps us think about big questions that science cannot fully answer. These ideas are the basis for the topics my group members will talk about next.
Hello everyone, today I will talk about the main branch of metaphysics. First, we have outreach. Outreach is about existence. It asks what really exists, not only the thing we can see. The second branch is self and change. The branch looks at how people or objects change over time, but still remain the same. Even though we grow older and change our idea, we usually feel that we are still the same person. The third branch is cause and effect. It asks why things happen and whether everything has a reason. Their idea may seem very philosophical, but we actually think about them in daily life. For example, we often ask questions like, do things exist only we can see them? Are we still us after may change in life? And do our choices really free, or are them shaped by cause around us? Their simple questions show that metaphysics is not far from our daily thinking. It helps us understand reality, self, and the choices we make every day. Thank you.
On these slides, we ask, is reality really what we see? Sometimes our eyes can trick us. Reality is what is really there. Practice is how we see or feel things. Issue is when what we see is not real. This makes us thinking, can we trust what we see, or do we need to look closer? It is important to remember that seeing is not always believing. Here is the story of Plato's cave. Some people are tricked in cave and can only see shadows on the wall. They think the shadows are real, but the real things are outside the cave. This shows that our senses may not show the true reality. To know the truth, we need to think and look beyond what we see. Sometimes we must question what we believe to understand the world better.
The mind-body problem is the central issue in metaphysics. It explores questions about human existence and reality. It focuses on how the mind and the body are constructed within one person. The main include thoughts, conscious, emotions, and subjective experience. This cannot be directly observed. The body refers to the brain's nervous system and physical process, which can be studied scientifically. The main question is whether the mind is separate from the body or simply a result of physical process in the brain. Okay, next part is 3 primary philosophical approaches to explain the nature of reality. First one is dualism, the belief that reality is made up of 2 fundamental types of things, substance or reals. The next one is materialism, the belief that all the existence is physical matters and the law that govern the behaviors of that matter. The last one is idealism, the belief that physical matter does not exist and that all reality is made up of ideas that exist in the mind. Why the mind-body problem matters? Because it helps us understand what it means to be human. It affects how we think about free will, consciousness, personal identity, and responsibility for our actions.
Let's start with the free will. our daily experience is built on it. We feel we are the author of the all truths. We to study, we to see. Philosophy is defined as the strictly is the power to have done otherwise under the exact same conditions, which makes us ultimately responsible. But here's the challenge. Science tell us the mind comes from the physical brain, and the physical world runs on strict cause and effect. So, how can a brain-born sorcerer's laws generate truly free, uncaused truth? This double leads us to the opposite view. Bicycles since the Big Bang, by our biology like genes and neurons, by our psychology, our mannerisms and personality. The famous through the experiment of Laplace, the demon makes this vivid. In law, it's a crime was determined by a person's brain and upbringing. Is the punishment about justice or just social management? Are we punishing the person or their fate? For our service is our successes and futures are predetermined to print and regret lost there's the menu. That's the left free. That's the left free. Less the meaningful.
For the last part, I will talk about why metaphysics is still important in our daily life. First, metaphysics helps us understand reality. It encourages us to ask a simple but deep question, like what is real and whether the world is beyond our mind. Second, metaphysics helps us understand who we are. But talking about the mind and consciousness, we start to think about what makes us human and how our thought shape our deeds. Third, metaphysics is linked to responsibility. If we truly have free will, then we should take responsibility for our actions. But if everything is already decided, this changes how we judge right and wrong. To conclude, metaphysics helps us question what usually take for granted. So I would like to end with this question: what does it mean to be real? Thank you.